This is Nurse Williams. Thanks for visiting my channel. Imagine you or your family member going to the hospital, after having or needing a really critical surgery or procedure or something like that. You get into the hospital, you have this procedure, you have the surgery. You get back to your recovery room and you find out that there are not enough nurses to care for you. Heart-wrenching, right? That is the reality for patients and their families across the country, y'all, especially when we are having this critical shortage of nurses. This not only affects nurses in the hospital or patients in the hospital, but it affects patients and nurses, every aspect of the healthcare field. So, some of the common causes of burnout for nurses, low wages. We don't get paid enough, y'all. Short staff. Every time you come into work, your staff ratio increases. In some places you're supposed to be, one nurse to every 3 to 4 patients. You come in because you don't have another nurse to, help, set off the assignment. So now you have one nurse to every 7 or 8 patients. Each patient needing critical care, needing critical, things done, and you don't have enough hands and you don't have enough staff to do that. It makes you tired, it makes you frustrated, it makes you burnt out. Okay, another common cause of nurse burnout, besides low wages and being short staffed, exhaustion. No support, lack of support from your nurse managers, lack of support from your leaders in the hospital and the healthcare industry. It's so sad that we as nurses, either like one day you're gonna, hail us as heroes, and the next day we feel like, you put us on the back burner. Nurses are the backbone of the healthcare industry, along with CNAs. They work hand in hand. Like, those are the ones. These are the people you want to make sure that are never short-staffed. Your CNAs and your nurses, because they keep healthcare rolling consistently. Okay. Things that we need to do in the future or now to offset that. You have to bring it to the attention not only of your nursing managers and your nursing leaders, but the hospital leaders, the healthcare leaders. And honestly, y'all, I hate politics, but sometimes you have to take this to a political level, because a lot of times these representatives and their senators and whatever, they don't really know the healthcare aspect. They only see money. They only know money, and they only know how to offset money and balances like that. But a lot of times they're not really um, understanding of how bad the nursing industry is getting, y'all. We have nurses retiring early. We have nurses that are just quitting the nursing field in general, don't want to come back. Like, this is getting crazy. And if we don't advocate for ourselves and for our patients, we're going to have, a little bit of nurses in the hospitals. We're going to have a little bit of nurses in the healthcare industry, period. And it's not going to be safe, y'all. I don't think that organizations realize that you lose more money when you constantly have to, bring in, travel nurses and pay them 10 times as more as you do your regular nurses. You're going to constantly lose money if you got to keep, fixing medication errors and poor nursing judgment and poor judgment, in general. You're going to keep losing money that way. Why not support your nursing staff? Why not support your nurses and your healthcare workers so that you can, keep them, okay? A lot of things that we have to do, like I said, as far as being an advocate for yourself and for your patients. We have to be honest. We have to be honest with ourselves. This is getting bad. This is getting critical. I know in my case, um, sometimes you work with 2 nurses at night, and you work in the ER, and God forbid if this is one of the days where cold and flu season is off the off the meat rack, and you got 40 or 50 patients out there, and you only have 2 nurses in the back. That is not sustainable, y'all. So just want to just do a quick video on nursing shortages, the nursing crisis. Like, it is a crisis, y'all. And I know that I say this all the time, but we have to be intentional on how we advocate for ourselves and for our patients, y'all. So remember, and especially to our new nursing students, like, don't be scared to be an advocate. Don't be scared to to say what you see. Okay, to say what you see. That is very important. I learned that a long time ago. You say what you see, and you advocate. Be an advocate for yourself. Be an advocate for your teammates, and be an advocate for your patients. Have a great day.